I I just had friends that kept saying I should write a book, and they were. I had one friend in particular, my friend Raquel, and she was interviewing me because she was writing a play. As I was telling her these stories about my childhood, she said, "You really should write a book." And when I went home that evening, I told my husband, and my husband was like, "I've been telling you that, and you never listened to me." And I told him, I'm not a writer. I'm not going to write a book. So the next morning when I woke up, I found him on the laptop setting up a blog for me. And he said, "This can be just for your book." I've been blogging for a long time, but I never thought of myself as a writer. I just thought I'm just putting my ideas down. So I started blogging, just a page every day. And after a little while, I started getting people that were coming to the website, and they were following my blog, and they would comment, and if I didn't post something, they would demand to know why. So it became a responsibility for me. I felt like, okay, these people are interested enough to read what I'm writing. I feel like I owe it to them to write it. And once I started writing, I also realized that I had a lot of issues that were right under the surface of the skin that I hadn't really, I thought they'd gone away. But as soon as when the memories started coming back, I realized I need to deal with this. I need to, figure out some way to channel this. So the book was somewhat therapeutic. Thank you. I think a lot of times I say I'm not a writer because I don't think of myself that way. I like to read, so sometimes when I read like the writers that I admire, I think, oh, I could never do that. They're like artists, they know how to, they do something that I feel like I can't do. But at the same time, I realize that what I'm doing is something that's important for a lot of people to be able to feel like they don't have to be the best writer to write. And it's the same sort of attitude that I had when I decided to be in a punk band. It's like I don't have to be the best musician to get up there and sing or play the guitar or play bass or whatever it is I'm playing. I've always felt like I don't have to master that particular instrument to make it say what I want it to say. And it's the same with writing. You don't have to feel like it has to be good enough. It just has to be good enough for you. It doesn't have to meet any superior standards. I think over the years I've learned that perfectionism is really like my worst enemy. If I really let myself, if I let that stymie me, I would never do anything. So I try to get past that, and I know that a lot of young kids have that same problem. They feel like they can't write or they won't post because it doesn't meet certain standards. So one of the reasons I say I'm not a writer is because I want people to know that they don't have to be a writer to write, and you don't have to be a musician to play. I do. I think if you have something that you want to say and you want to, I think you can just shape it. It can be the music, and a scene or a community, an artistic community can be whatever the participants decide to make it. I was talking to some young girls today. I don't know how old they were, but they were very young, and they were telling me they wanted to be in a band, and they said, "But we don't even know how to play." And I'm like, "So what? Can you get some instruments? Just make time, figure out how to, go to the library, play some chords, learn to play some chords, or you don't even need to do that because you can just, if you hit an instrument or, experiment with it, sooner or later you're going to find what makes it, what sounds it can make, and sometimes that's the most exciting thing. It's like not playing it in the traditional way." Well, my bass player and I wanted to have an all-girl band for a long time. We'd sit in our living room and we'd try and play along with the Runaways, or play along. We learned to play Smoke on the Water, so we'd play that. And we thought that one day we'd find like all our members and have an all-girl band, and that just never happened for us. So we put an ad in the paper, and we ended up with Geza X and Jonah Nini answering the ad, and they they just kind of, talked us into letting them audition. So when they auditioned, we realized that it sounded really good and that we were sort of being. By the time that we let them audition, we'd already been trying to form an all-girl band for like, I don't know, probably 2 years, and we hadn't found all our female members. So so when we got Giornanini and Geza X, it just seemed to click, and we decided to go with it. The part of the thing that made the bags interesting was that we had decided we were going to wear bags over our heads, and that really appealed to Geza. They just thought it was like a really fun idea, and it was really liberating to do that because, it's this anonymity that goes with wearing a bag over your head.
It's like the archetypical symbol of autonomy.
Right. It's like just you're there and you're anonymous, but you're also. You can let go of all these inhibitions, and at the same time, you can create whatever it is that you want to project on that bag. You can draw on it or cut it up or pin stuff on it. So, Castration Squad was my former roommate, Shannon Wilhelm, had decided she was going to form a band, and she was originally going to form a band with my bassist, Patricia. She was Raynon at the time, then she became Morrison. Now she's married to Dave Vanian, so I think she goes by Vanian. But she and Shannon were sitting in our apartment at the Canterbury one day, and they started writing a song called Ex-Girlfriend. And I walked in, they started telling me about this band they were going to be in called Castration Squad. And some time passed. I didn't see either of them for a while. I was living at home, and then all of a sudden I got a call from Shannon saying that she had the band together and would I play bass. And so I sort of got pulled in as a substitute. I wasn't a bass player at the time, and I said, okay, I'll play bass with you. Yeah. So I became sort of a permanent sub for Castration Squad. I think I played all their live shows, or if not all of them, most of their live shows.
Nice.
Well, I've been listening to a lot of stuff that people have been giving me at the readings, because I'm always looking for new bands. I love to hear people that are doing the stuff that I'm talking about. It's like just inventing things. Like I really look for people that are playing different stuff, and I love to hear bands with women in them. And so I'm listening to stuff that people give me, but I also like, I've been listening to Girl in a Coma, The Epoxies, God, I can't think of it right when The Gossip. I don't know.
It's like a crazy question because you can never answer.
Yeah, no, wait. One that I just, is it Naked Aggression?
Oh, yeah.
And then the flip side, I can't think of the name of the band that's on the, it's escaping my mind. But anyway, that record, it's a split record, and it's really good. Gotcha. Cholita is one of my favorite bands that I've ever been involved with. And Vag is just, she's just so inspiring, She's just like, she has these great ideas and just always pushed me. When I actually started working with Vaginal in the Afro Sisters, and the Afro Sisters just were a totally impromptu thing. Like she'd just say, okay, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna sing a song, and then I'm gonna call you up, and she'd give you like a quick sketch of what you were gonna do, and then you'd make it up on stage. Yeah, it was exciting, because you had to go, like if she'd start singing something, then you'd start singing, making it up, and it was really exciting. And Cholita started out being that kind of group too, where it was just improvised, and after a while, I'm the one that like brought in the guitar and said, okay, let's really write some songs. So in a way, I was the one that brought in structure to Cholita, and that's not. It's funny because I think Miss Davis is really much more open and creative, so. Yes. Yeah, I'm really excited about all the Occupy movements that are spreading all over the
It
U.S.
got
and
so
all over the
huge.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. I'm so happy that I get to be alive to see this, because I really think we're taking our power back, and I think it's happening slowly. At first, I think people thought it's going to be over right away. It's just another demonstration, but I'm hopeful. I see people changing their minds and starting to take it a little more seriously, and you can shut something down here, but it's going to move over here. It's just as soon as the idea is there, people will find a way to manifest it. To manifest the logical action that goes with it. The idea is there. People will find a way to make it happen. What happens is we have to get away from thinking. I think what scares me is thinking that people will say, well, let's just get an Occupy party, or let's
Exactly.
let's
I
get
hate
some
that idea.
liberals to back to take
The worst.
yeah, right, to sort of co-opt it. We don't want anybody to speak for us.
That's like
I love the
beauty
way
of
it's
it.
like grassroots movement, and it should continue to be that. And we need to get involved and not let anybody, become a mouthpiece for it. I hate to be cliche about it, but there's all kinds of violence. It's not just somebody spraying pepper spray in your face. There's all kinds of violence that takes place that is never seen, that's invisible. People being arrested that aren't guilty, or people being thrown out of their homes and forced to live on the streets. All that is violence. I don't personally. I would hope that we could accomplish this with as few casualties as possible, but I don't know that it's possible not to have some casualties.
Agree. Like that.
Oh, I hadn't thought of it until you mentioned it, but
It's great to hear like every single syllable of the lyrics because they're awesome. They're
Thank
such
you.
awesome lyrics. So.
no, I hadn't thought of it, but that sounds like a great idea. I would like to do some of these songs over, because I've been in so many bands over the years that never
Yeah.
recorded, and from each band I have like a few favorite songs, and Artifix is doing like a little EP of some of one song from this band and one song from that band, but a lot of it is just like live or rehearsal recordings, or it's not all studio, but I would love to have studio stuff. Angie and I were in a band called Punkustica, and so we played. I don't know if it was folk, but it was acoustic punk, and it had some of those elements of folk, because it has the harmonies, the lyrics that are important, and the that kind of like protest spirit. Greg is here from Artifacts. What's on that EP?
On the Alice Bag EP?
Yeah, on the
Well, we have the Cholita, Chinga Tu Madre.
okay,
and,
Cholita, Chinga Tu
and we
Madre,
have the Las Tres, Happy Accident.
okay.
And we have the bags, We Will Bury You, the really hot cut. And then we also have the Castration Squad, Date with Jack.
And that's a radio.
From the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, live from the radio. And I'm missing one, aren't I? Stay at Home Bomb.
Just do it. Just go out there, help Occupy if you can, get involved. Do something to help them. I don't care what it is. If you can knit a sweater. If you can play, go down there, play some music for them. I'm sure it gets boring. And if you can actually spend some time there, go. And guess my feeling is that punk is not just playing a song. It's definitely your attitude, your way of life, and the choices you make. So take it into your heart and put out that punk spirit.